Hi and welcome. This is my live stream of A Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy XIV. This is actually the PS4 I'm playing it on at the moment, but it is available on the PS4, PS3 and the PC. No Xbox sadly. I don't know the reason behind it. I've not read it up and don't really care to know. Just for people who don't know what this is, it's an online RPG, which basically means you play it with thousands of other people at the same time, all in the same game world. Usually they kind of only ever existed on the PC. I've been playing MMOs myself for years on the PC, and now they've been slowly creeping onto consoles. I think now the consoles are catching up a bit with PC. Kind of, it's becoming more and more common. It's like Elder Scrolls is coming out soon as well. Right, so upon entering the game, this is what you'll see. You will have noticed at the login screen I only actually had one character. There's a good reason for this. Basically you can be any character you want in the game. What I mean by that is, usually on these types of games you would pick, say, a certain class like a black mage, white mage, warrior, healer. I'm aware that a white mage is a healer, but never mind, you know what I mean. And literally you would play through the game as that one character, and if you were to try something else you'd have to restart the whole game from scratch and well, basically start from zero again and just re-level again, doing all the same content. With this, what you get is the ability, if you go into a menu and character, you can basically be any character class you want. So if I scroll across here at the top, you see all these classes down here. Basically, any time I can swap to any class I want and level them all up individually. And to be honest, there's actually more than this in the game as well. It's only ones I've grabbed so far. I'm currently trying to be a tank, which is basically gladiator. Not that many good at it, but it's just purely because there seems to be a distinct lack of them in the game. So when you're queuing for instances, it can take a while to come through. Ooh, like that. So, generally, what would you do in this kind of game? You, well, this is one of these starting cities. I've forgotten what it's actually called. What the hell is this place called? Ulda, that's it. It's kind of like a sandy, deserty type one. And you can kind of basically, at the character creation screen, create any character class you want, really. I've kind of gone for a stereotypical slices all over his face and a weird stripe down his head. No idea why. And I can't remember what character race I went for. I think it was Highlander, just because I like the film. That's pretty much as complicated as it gets, really. Along the bottom you'll see all the little buttons and everything. They're basically actions that you do in the game. So how you do them is the ones on the far right and the right of the bracket. If you press and hold R2, you can then use any one of these. So like Rampart, for instance, hold R2, press down, and you use it. To access the abilities on the left side, press and hold L2, and like say Keen Flurry, press a button, boof. And it's basically how combat will work, really. You can have as many quick bars as you want. You can swap between them on the fly. So I can have different skills in every single one of those, and then all one of those. To be honest, it's a little fiddly getting used to at first, because I only ever really played MMOs on PCs. Obviously we've got a million and one keys for shortcuts, macros and all sorts of crap. On this, it takes a bit of getting used to. Once you get used to it, it works perfectly fine. It's definitely playable, and you can definitely progress in the game. I mean, I know I've not got too far into it. Let's see, what's my highest character? My highest one is Gladiator so far. I'm a bugger for re-rolling though, which is why I keep getting to level 20, thinking, right, I'll try something else, and re-rolling again. Which in the past I'd end up with a million characters and not getting anywhere. Luckily with this, I can actually keep the same character and I keep coming up with a million different names. Now, basically you level up your character by doing usual hunting quests and usual yada yada yada, and they're all stored in a journal. Every single one of those is a quest. These ones at the bottom, leave quests, are slightly different. I'll try and explain them later if I remember to do it. But say, kind of like from Warcraft, they'll all have exclamation marks over the head if they've got a quest for you. Go up to them, talk away, they'll give you kind of an overview of what it is. You'll get some waffling quest text, which you can read or completely ignore if you want. You will get cutscenes as well sometimes, because each character, class, gladiator, healer and so on, they'll all have their own basic stories as you play through, so it actually gives you a reason to, well, level it up really. Some of the stories are good, some of them are a bit crap, but at least they're there. And it's also how you unlock abilities. Like certain class abilities won't unlock until you have, well, basically cleared, like say, a level 20. You'll get a mission to do a gladiator quest. You'll go that, do some talking, run around, and then you get a new ability. I think it was Shield Bash. I've forgotten, to be honest, and I really should have read that because I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing in this quest now. Where is it? I'm looking for a flaming one. That one. Right, hang on. Stuff this. What you can do as well, be lazy, you can teleport. Basically, the 3 different colours, these are the 3 different starting cities you get. I'm not going to try and pronounce them, but Lenosia? I don't know. Personal favourite is Gridania, or Gridania, as they seem to say it in the game. Just I'll quickly fly there actually. Well, not fly. Teleporting is the quickest way to get there, but it costs you money. But because I'm filming, I don't want to be talking whilst I'm riding the Chocobo all the way there. Let's see. And in each of the 3 cities you will unlock, you'll have different classes available in different ones. Like I think in here, press square from memory, like carpenters you can learn here, leather worker, lancer, where's the next one, botanist. So basically there is a reason to go to all 3 cities, and there is actually a main storyline that goes through the entire game that you can play, which a minute ago you saw me looking at that flaming one. That one. That is the main scenario quest, which will go all the way from the beginning right till you've cleared the game. I think it ends in one big epic battle. And they tend to be the better quests and more meaty, interesting ones. Some of the others can kind of be a bit crappy, but when you've got so many quests, it's not surprising really. One thing you probably will notice is the graphics on this game. It's the PS3 version can look a bit limited and dated, which really isn't surprising considering the software it's on, well, hardware it's on even. But I think this is the PS4 version feels like it's almost on a par with, what the hell is that thing? Easily distracted. Ooh, shiny. I said the PS4 version is easily on a par with the PC version, unless you've got something that's a PC so powerful it can blow a hole in a wall. This is definitely more than adequate. Right, also in the game there is mounts. Typically, oh, when the hell did I get that one? I don't remember unlocking that. Anyway, typically I can't actually summon any of these yet, because these, you get that skill apparently after doing the level 20 main scenario quest, and typically because I've been arsing about so much, I've not actually done that yet. I think, what am I currently up to, 17 was it? Yeah, 17, so I'm not far off. But these I've unlocked literally, the more you subscribe you seem to get different rewards, so if you subscribe for a day, 30 days and whatnot, you'll get stuff. I think Ahriman I got pretty quick, and of course a Behemoth, which I really want to ride. Then there's also usual things like, you know, minions, which you can have like running around behind you, which you can unlock through quests, length of time you played, and all sorts of many different various things. That's some of the Moogle. Just typical MMO stuff. Where is he? There he is. Right, let's see if I can actually show you some combat now. Teleport. Let's try there. We're burning through money like a crazy man here, but what I'm going to do as well, I'll do a separate series of videos covering every instance in the game from a tank perspective if I can. I've already done the first 3, so I'll have to go back and do those again. Good thing with this is though, you never really tend to out-level anything, because say, let's have a look, Duty Finder, it's basically Dungeon Finder, what you'd find in Warcraft. Click on that. These 3 dungeons, level 15, level 16, level 17. If you see it at the bottom, it'll say level 17 sync from 20. So you can go in it up to level 20, but if you're say level 30, you can still go into it again, but you'll knock your level down to level 20. So that's actually, it's a really small addition to a game, but I really love it. Because sometimes you'll find you haven't got the time, you haven't got the patience, or you really just want to know the game first before you go into a dungeon with 3 other people in this, and you don't look like a complete idiot. So what I used to do is leave it a while before going in, and then find out half the dungeons and 2 powered up for, so there's no point doing it. Well, at least with this I can play it at my own pace, and when I feel ready to go into a dungeon I can go in and I'm not over leveled. What it must do with the gear you've got, you must kind of sync that down to roughly level 20 stats sort of thing. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I could look into that, try and find it out. I was just trying to find an interesting enemy to fight for you, but I suppose that's not the point really, is it? I should just fight something. Go on then, Tuco, whatever your name is. Right, run up, press X, target lock, press X again, it'll do that. You can free move whilst in combat. Like I was saying before, until you hold R2, you won't actually do anything. Now, say if I want to use normal attack, fast blade, circle, then savage blade. What you'll see, you can do combos and everything. So, like, press fast blade, you'll see like a dashes around savage blade. That means it's a combo. So, if I press it again now, it'll do more damage. Those things you can see on the floor, it's basically the cone of attack the thing's going to be doing, so literally shift your ass out of it. Yeah, and that's pretty much the basics of combat. Gets a little bit more tricky obviously being a tank, and obviously there's a lot more to it than that, but let's see. Trying to run towards that. Where's it, level 18? They have like these dynamic quests. I think they're called fates. I'm not sure what fate actually stands for. Basically it's just a random quest that start on the map. All you got to do is just run to it, and everyone in the area will join the same thing. If I can get there before it finishes. Ah, here we go. With big bleeder here apparently. You see on the right hand side you'll see Bad Camp giving you a bit of a synopsis about the quest and everything. Basically, as long as you do anything in the quest, when it's finally completed, you'll get shared XP and rewards and everything. Of course, the more you do, the more you'll get. They're quite an easy way to level up as well, actually, because they're constantly spawning around the map, so you could quite easily just spend your day running from one to the next and just getting tons of experience. I think someone must have started this and then buggered off. I think you can actually fight in first person mode. Yep, you can. To be honest, I usually find it easier zooming right the way out, but I just thought for filming's sake, like say if you're tanking, it's better to have better to be able to see everything around you. Right, come on. Now this game did actually launch, I think it's back in 2011 or 12, and it was just called Final Fantasy XIV, and to be honest it was bleeding awful. The general ideas were there, but it was just very, very badly made and put together. To the point that I think it ran for about a year, and then they actually closed the game off, completely revamped it, relaunched it, and it wasn't just a... they changed a lot of the systems, they changed almost every city, and relaunched it, and now it is really, really good. They've done an awesome job of the relaunch, considering everyone had wrote it off at the beginning. So if you see any old reviews knocking about, you'll see they're like 2 out of 10s, and if that, and awful. And to be fair, it did deserve that. But yeah, they went away, fixed it, realised what cocked up, and now it's brilliant. What did make me laugh though, they've actually wrote that whole thing into the actual lore of the game. The intro at the beginning, they actually had an event at the end of when it was closing off. I think it shut down for a good nearly a year actually while I was rebuilding it. And they had an event where Bahamut, this big bleeding dragon basically, came and bombed a lot of the world. And then they closed it down. In the intro of this, the game starts off after the calamity, which is pretty much that dragon coming down destroying half the world. And literally it's just, yeah, they just built it into the story. Like, the world was nearly destroyed by this big bleeding dragon. It's now revamped afterwards, 10 years on, and it seems to be getting a lot better. So I thought hats off to them for doing that. Right, I'm actually getting sick of doing this now, so I think you've seen enough combat. Let me just get out of there. Run! Right. Ooh, tiger lock. I'll show you just how easy it is to swap classes as well in a second when this big bastard stops chasing me. Right, here we go. Right, if you got bored of playing a gladiator and just basically wanted to do something else, press start button or options, whatever it is on the PlayStation these days, character, and what you'll see, this gear set list. Oh, mission must have finished. So I got 3,000 experience just for doing that. Literally, if you change your weapon to, say, a lance, you become a lancer, dagger, you become a rogue, all that lot. But what you can do, which I really love, gear set lists. You can make as many gear sets as you want just by literally pressing the little plus up here, and whatever you've got equipped at the moment, it'll save it to that set. So like, say, conjurer. If I want to be a conjurer, press X, equip set, buff, now conjurer. Automatically all the gear I had set for that set is saved and will be equipped automatically, and all the abilities and skills and everything I get carried over. What it is, you've got kind of two inventory things really. Standard issue inventory, just all your random crap goes in there, and also an armory chest, which is a brilliant idea really. All your weapons go in here. Anything with a little square at the bottom right basically means it's part of an armor set. All your different hats, different equipment and whatnot, and basically this is where it's all stored, so you can quickly swap stuff on the fly really. And that again, got sick of playing conjurer, want to be what the hell's my lancer? Oh, there he is. Buff. With his awesomely epic goggles. And there you go. It takes a couple of seconds the cooldown to come off your skills and everything, but so you're not trapped at all into doing whatever you don't want to do. And also again, these down here, the trade skill ones, which again have their own little outfit sets for. To be honest, I've not built the outfits up for them yet because I've not really got the gear. Let's go back to being a gladiator. And what we'll do is show you one of the new things they've put in the game recently, the golden saucer, which if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you should hopefully recall it came from Final Fantasy VII, and it was an awesome place back then. And to be honest, I think they've done a really good job of it. I mean, it's still in the early days, so I think they're going to be adding to it as they go along. But as it stands at the moment, I really quite like it. It eventually loads up. They've also included the card game Triple Triad, which was from Final Fantasy VIII, if you recall that far back. I've never been very good at it. They have NPCs dotted out throughout the world. You'll get a basic starter set when you come here. It'll have NPCs around the world with, I'll show you actually, a card thing above the head. There we go. See? Quite very pretty. And you can also play the card game with other people. You see people like that. She's not just being gormless, she's actually playing cards with someone around here. I don't know who she's playing, maybe she just is a bit nuts. So yeah, for anyone that's never played an MMO before, all these people you see milling about are actual real people somewhere. Where are we? There we go. See that big square above his head? Basically means you can play cards with him if you want to, and also whilst he's got that above his head, it means if you beat him, you've also got a chance of winning a card. That's basically how you build up your deck. You can also buy them from coins you get here, but to be honest, you need an awful lot of coins, so it's usually easier to go away, build up your deck by winning some, and then Jesus Christ, how am I supposed to do that? Not much you can do about that then, it's just wasting old shit. Basically, the gist of the game is there's 4 numbers around it, So if I put a number on, you see mine has got a 3 on the right hand side of this and it's got a 1 on the left side of that. If I press it, it'll flip it because my number's higher than that. And the idea is you flip over more of their cards than yours and you'll win the game. Trust me, it's never that simple and it's quite difficult. I really suck at this game though, so please don't take that piss too much. Although to be fair, look at these bastard cards. Come on. Luckily you don't lose your cards when you lose. I'm not sure if you play it against people, you do, but yeah, you've seen enough of that. It's run away quickly. I'm still practicing. Another addition you've got in here is Chocobo Racing. I'm not sure if you can bet on the things, but you can actually take part in them. Because to be honest, I only kind of discovered this the other night, so I'm still fairly new to this myself. Let's see if I can quickly do a race. Enter a race. I've never done Costa del Sol. Yeah. I think you have to hover around here when you've signed up for a race till there's enough people to actually take part in the race. I don't know how long that's going to take though. So hopefully it'll come up quickly. But yeah, as you can see, the graphics and the armor sets look awesome, to be honest. I'd say it's definitely a good MMO to start with, really. Oh, here we go. It's not overly complicated in some of its ways. Yes, using a joypad does take some getting used to, but it's not impossible. All I would say though is if you're going to start playing it, play it frequently and not like once every week or two, because you'll forget the buttons and then you just get frustrated during the targeting. One thing I do have to say though is it's actually pay per month one. So you'll buy the initial game, you'll get 30 days with it, and I think it's £9 a month to play it. Now I know a lot of console users are like, oh god no, like the Antichrist, going to pay more money for it, but it's just literally because shit, I can't remember how you do this. There we go, Nova Zero, that's what I named my Chocobo. I think there are tactics and everything to this, I've just forgotten what they were. There we go, sprint shoes. But yeah, you pay about £89 a month for it, and what it is, it's just a continued access to the game. And what they do with that is, I don't know what that actually did. Basically, you'll always get updates to the game. They're always adding things like this was added this month, and it's just how they always work. It's not Square Enix being complete shits. It's just how MMOs work. There are some free-to-play ones out there, sure, but the thing with that free-to-play games, they're never quite as free as you think. Like with Elder Scrolls is coming out, for example, which I think that's free to play. You literally buy it and then you can play it forever. But what they also then have in is microtransactions, which basically means people can buy armor, buy this, buy that, buy inventory space, and you just end up with microtransactions all over the place, and it can just be a nightmare really, because it's just literally, if it's done well it's okay, but sometimes it can be like, oh, you want to do a quest, pay this for this and this and this, and if they overdo it, it can just completely ruin a game. So I don't generally like free-to-play games. I prefer it just to literally pay once a month and then it works. I can play as much or as little as I want, or just completely ignore it if I want to. Oh shit, I'm running out of stamina. Yeah, I think I did this wrong. Unless I can get that thing. I don't know what that did. But yeah, please don't be put off by the subscription fee. It's definitely worth it if you get, because I've got a habit of buying almost every game that comes out, and I'm playing this purely because to hopefully eat a lot of my time, which luckily it has been doing. Oh, yeah, I think I won. Nice one, only just, but it's a good fun game. The dungeons at the beginning are quite straightforward, and you don't need to be a mastermind or an MMO expert to do it. And I'd say it's really quite accessible. Hey, won by almost 2 seconds. There we go. The Chocobo is now rank 3. There's loads of little mini games like that knocking around in here. There's all sorts of daft things. But yeah, hopefully what I will do, I will do the first few dungeon videos from a tank's perspective, although please don't take the piss out of my tanking abilities. I'm crap at it. The only reason I'm doing it is because there seems to be a severe lack of tanks in the game. It's in a duty finder. I'll tell you up there. Eventually need tank. Literally, if you join this as a damage dealing class, you'll be waiting a good 20 minutes, half an hour to do a dungeon. Join it as a tank, it's literally instant pop up. I do it now, but I haven't actually got time to do it, so I'll do those separate. So please keep an eye out for those if you're interested. Yeah, hopefully I've covered everything and hopefully give you an idea about how it works. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Thanks a lot.